We're
I
all
would
here.
also like to state for the record that I had PTO scheduled today, that I notified the council on November 3rd that I was taking PTO today to accompany my elderly mother to have a full hysterectomy, and that I was also sick as
That's out of
yesterday.
order. I'm sorry. Excuse me. That's out of order.
You've also made numerous racist comments in my office talking about how NAACP lunches and dinners make you uncomfortable. You also called me after presenting a proclamation at the Juneteenth event and told me that you went up to Dr. Primrose Cameron and her daughter and told her that this wasn't a very unity in the community event, that there weren't a lot of white people. How they actually have lobbyists that help assist us in setting up meetings with all senators and House representatives, and they did so and emailed that schedule to you and to me. I understand that Tom Wright was not on it, but I also understand that you have the good buddy system with Tom Wright since he's on your board of directors.
Special meeting Friday, November 21st, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Roll call. Kaylee?
Councilmember Richardson? Here. Councilmember Darms?
Here.
Councilmember Knight?
Here.
Councilmember Tiomson?
Here.
Vice Mayor Grimm?
Here.
Councilmember Stafford?
Here.
Mayor Marks?
Here. We're
I
all
would
here.
also,
We're
I
all
would
here.
also like to state for the record that I had PTO scheduled today, that I notified the council on November 3rd that I was taking PTO today to accompany my elderly mother to have a full hysterectomy, and that I was also sick as
That's out of
yesterday.
order. I'm sorry. Excuse me. That's out of order. She's supposed to ask permission for the chair to speak. She did not. She spoke out. Thank you. Pledge allegiance, please.
How American of you.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And tyrants out.
My goodness. Embarrassing.
Mayor Marks. May I speak?
Oh.
May I speak?
Embarrassing.
Not yet. Just hold on. We're going to have our time. Okay, item number 1, discuss performance of the city clerk. First, I'd like to do an opening statement. The order of business tonight is to review the performance of the city clerk. Anyone with shout-outs or disruptive behavior will not be tolerated and will be ejected. We will maintain order of this meeting. This will serve as a pre-warning. If you would like to make a public comment, please fill out one of the slips and please turn it over to the city clerk. You will get 3 minutes to express your comment. Please address the council with all your comments. And just a reminder, council, if I would like to request, if you need to speak, and you already know this, but just address the chair first. We're going to go into a certain order of the agenda, but I'm just going to start with an opening statement. But during my opening statement, I ask the council to refrain from comments and questions until we reach the council deliberation, and then we will all discuss everything together. The purpose of this special meeting is one purpose only. Anything else will not be entertained tonight. Through the clerk's actions and email communications with the council, she has demonstrated contempt for this government body and has undermined the authority of this council itself. This cannot be tolerated. As a council, our position is to make policy that we have outlined and to support the administrative actions of the council. The clerk has demonstrated insubordinate behavior on many instances during the many email exchanges that I have provided a copy for the council tonight. She has undermined the council for reasonable requests for her contract, her PTO hours, etc. This has put the council in an uncomfortable position and has violated public trust. Communications must be civil and orderly. Our communications are filled with several allegations and harassing a council member. Lastly, please reference on your handout tonight that I obtained a copy of the email exchange between our city clerk and Senator Wright's office. If you can look at that. A meeting request was sent by our clerk to the Senator Tom Wright's office. This meeting was regarding our 2024 legislative appropriations request for our police, our fire, and our public works buildings. It was brought to my attention that Orange City Clerk never replied to the Senator's office for the meeting request. Because she did not fulfill her duty to check her emails, this may have cost the city approximately $3 million and not be able to build our facilities. In conclusion, the city clerk is an appointed officer appointed by the city council. Therefore, as her bosses, we have the authority to make those requests and should not be defied or challenged. The actions of the city clerk require employee discipline measures immediately, and that is why I called a special meeting tonight. The council cannot run our city efficiently with harassment and constant attack and allegations because order. Because we are questioning the clerk on her performance. I suggest we terminate for these stated reasons and for her improper and unprofessional communication with the council. I would like to advise the council that this concludes my opening statement, and at this time, I need to have a motion to terminate our city clerk's contract as previously stated. So I'll be looking to the council for action.
Madam Mayor, may I?
Okay.
Thank you. Based on the totality of everything that we've been provided, and it's been on social media and emails and everything of the like, I make a motion to terminate the city clerk's contract effective immediately based on the following: lack of confidence and trust, there's no reasonable prospect of reconciliation, inappropriate behavior towards the council and attempting to undermine the council, pushback and or difficulty presented when direction given, making rules, policies, not following direction from council, demonstrated insubordinate behavior, and disseminating private text messages which have created public chaos, rumor, and defamation, which is not a desirable characteristic of a position of a public official.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Motion dies for lack of a second.
I just. Sorry?
You need a second, you go right to citizens' comments.
No, that's not true. We need a second. Did you tell him that?
We don't need a second, right?
We can go straight to, what I recommend, Madam Mayor,
Yes.
is that we give the clerk a chance to go to the podium and
Before the
respond to
second? I thought you said after we get a motion and a
I
second.
don't think we had a second, so.
Well, he just said you told him that he didn't need one.
Would-
That's why I'm addressing this. Order.
Do we have a second to that motion?
I'll make it a second.
Okay, so now we have a second. So now what I recommend is
Yes.
that,
I got
so
it.
now I recommend that we give Ms. Burleson the opportunity to go to
Yes.
the podium and give her.
That's what I intended to do. Thank you. Ms. Burleson, you can approach the podium and you have 10 minutes to speak your mind.
Speak my mind. Got it. First, I would like to state that I'm unsure of what text messages you are speaking of. Are you able to provide proof? Are you able to provide proof of those text messages that
Sorry, you
you are
have to direct
accusing-
that at the council and not at one person.
Well, I have somebody making a motion to terminate me based on.
It doesn't matter. You-
So is the council able to provide proof of the text messages that I distributed?
Okay. Yes,
Are they?
it's all over social media.
From my understanding, those aren't text messages, those are Facebook messages.
Okay. Do you want to,
I'd like to discuss it when we have our discussion.
Okay, continue with your,
So I would also like to state for the record that the city clerk does not have access to any of the city council members' social media accounts. I have no access to those records. Records, according to statute, are to stay in the department that is responsible for keeping those records, and I have to physically ask for them. So I have no access to those records. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the individual that dropped off those records at my office on November 12th in the afternoon is present.
okay.
Just so you're aware. I would also like to state for the record that you still had a meeting with Tom Wright. I was also on vacation that week with literally a return response going to my emails talking about if you have, important information to reach out to the city clerk email for immediate assistance, that I was away with limited access to my email and phone. I would also like to state that you came in my office after legislative action days and told me how you took your intern to Tallahassee and how you dressed her up because she had big boobs and had her show off her cleavage to Tom Wright because he likes that kind of stuff. And I have 2 witnesses that were in my office when you said it. Would anybody else like to ask me any questions or address any situations?
No, the
I would also
council-
like to ask why, we're in November. Why are you addressing this in November?
The council is not going to address you at this time. You're to state what you would like to state, and you have 10 minutes. And I need the clock started, please. It's started. Oh, okay, thank you.
I would like to state that this is retaliatory in nature, that I had scheduled PTO off, that I notified this council on November 3rd, 2025, that I was taking PTO in order to accompany my 62-year-old mother to have a full hysterectomy. I would also like to state for the record that I was sick with a stomach bug yesterday and notified council yesterday morning, and that I received a text message and an email from Kelly Marks at 4:07 p.m. calling for a special meeting, which required me to get out of my bed and come to the office and post all the public notices as required. I was also required to find somebody else to take my mother to surgery today. My mother is still in recovery, by the way. I think it is absolutely vile that I had to choose between defending my character and my job and being there for my own mother who lives in my home. I am her caretaker. It is absolutely vile that I had to choose between that. You have multiple days that you could have picked a special meeting. You picked this day just because you did not want me to be in attendance. Can we also talk about how Woodard and Curran, one of our contractors that's actually working on, one of our vendors that's actually working on the new facilities plan, how they actually have lobbyists that help assist us in setting up meetings with all senators and House representatives, and they did so and emailed that schedule to you and to me. I understand that Tom Wright was not on it, but I also understand that you have the good buddy system with Tom Wright since he's on your board of directors. I would also like to respond to the email in which I sent out regarding food. I would like to state for the record that at the first meeting in October, the council requested that I provide them Olive Garden because council expects to be fed prior to 6 p.m. if they have a meeting. And I was cornered at the Orange City Elementary School ribbon cutting ceremony, and I was requested to purchase Olive Garden for 10 people, in which I followed the directions and did so. That meal was served at 5 p.m. and around, 6:15, a couple members of the public came to me and asked me if they were allowed to eat the food. And historically, we have always allowed the public to share in a meal that is, in a public meeting. So I advised them that they could, and you pulled me to the side and you asked if the public was allowed to eat the food. I would also like to mention that at the time it was 2 black women that were up there making their plate. One of them that you were speaking about in those racist Facebook messages. Both of them were members of the public. Both of them are taxpayers, and I told you that I thought they were entitled to share the meal as we paid for it with their tax money. In which I later on sent an email out asking for suggestions if, you know, if this was going to be a problem moving forward, because historically this is how Orange City has always handled the meals, in which I got a response back from you. I made suggestions on the survey. As far as sharing with the public, where does it state that rule that we have to share our meal with the public? My concern is I don't want to eat from a buffet with a ton of people touching the food I'm eating. It's not sanitary. What about individual meals for the council, pre-order and takeout orders? I find somebody that has a nonprofit, runs a nonprofit in this community that is so focused on ending hunger in her local community, and she's not willing to share a meal with the public. What if that was the only meal those individuals ate that day? I would like to also state that I brought up concerns because this council has raised ad valorem taxes, it's raised solid waste taxes, it's also raised stormwater taxes, and I brought that to your attention just, you know, I was trying to encourage how the public would feel having a catered dinner in a public meeting and telling them that they were not allowed to partake in it. So I encouraged you to take a different look at that, in which you respond, this is not a catered dinner. This is supposed to be meals for the council and staff who will be there a long time and do not have time in order to eat in between meetings and regular workday. I don't think it was appropriate for you to state that since food is purchased with public funds, we must share our meal. Be careful making up rules that are not in place unless you have facts to back it up. I would also like to state that there's no rule stating that I have to feed council when you have a meeting prior to 6 p.m., in which I responded and offered to bring you a policy at your December 9th meeting so that staff has clear guidance moving forward. The amount of
We got left.
hostile...
It's not. I was going to announce when we got to 3 minutes. It's
Thank
3
you.
minutes and 21 seconds.
Okay. There's been growing apprehensions among staff. I know there's numerous staff members that have previously resigned or recently resigned that are in the audience that were terrified to actually speak their mind during their exit interviews and why they actually left. You actually came into my office and told our public information officer in front of my executive assistant and in front of my deputy city clerk that you and the rest of the council thought she was completely incompetent at her job, in which she has since resigned. You also came into the office and demanded that the deputy clerk have to attend every single city council meeting, in which I explained to you how the deputy clerk and the city clerk split up meetings to where we can have ample time at home with our families as well. Because we handle more boards than just the city council. I handle all boards of the city, which is around 10, just so you're aware. And I expressed the desire for a work-life, home-life balance for my employee, in which you literally laughed and basically told her, haha, too bad, get a different job. I would also like to state that I've had an employee come to my office in which she was actually crying. She was actually crying. And I asked her, I was like, why are you crying? And she's like, I just feel so uncomfortable when she comes in the building. And I said, well, does she say anything to you? Like, is she mean? Is she, you know, whatever? And she said, no, she just looks at us like she smells shit. I also had another employee come to me that was scared because she thinks that you are targeting her over the sign code in the land development code when that was adopted when she was a baby. And she unfortunately feels like she's fearful for her job due to the changes that you want that you won't bring up at council under new business like you properly should. And instead, you are treating employees and making them feel intimidated by you, like they are supposed to change the code for you automatically. And unfortunately, that's not the way it works. I've also had your mortgage company call my office numerous times. You've also made numerous racist comments in my office talking about how NAACP lunches and dinners make you uncomfortable. You also called me after presenting a proclamation at the Juneteenth event and told me that you went up to Dr. Primrose Cameron and her daughter and told her that this wasn't a very unity in the community event, that there weren't a lot of white people. I digress.
30-second warning.
I digress. I'm done.
Thank you.